Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm your host, and I'm joined as always by our resident expert.
Hey everyone, great to be here.
So today, we are unpacking a really intense set of session notes from April 1st, 2026. And I want you, the listener, to just imagine something for a second.
Oh, this is a heavy one right out of the gate.
It really is. Imagine standing in front of this ancient stone archway, right? And it demands that you speak your darkest, most shameful secret out loud.
The one thing you swore you would literally take to your grave.
Exactly. And if you speak it, you completely lose the narrative you've built your entire life around. But if you don't, you can't move forward. So what would you confess?
It's a terrifying thought experiment.
Right. So our mission for this deep dive is to explore this literal descent into the underworld and ask you, what would you be willing to lose physically and emotionally just to uncover the truth?
Because the party in these notes, they're on a massive, almost desperate mission.
Yeah, they're looking for Loki, right? The trickster god.
Right. They need to find him, uncover whatever giant conspiracy he's plotting, and retrieve this stolen golden apple to rescue someone named Iðunn.
But getting to him is like a whole thing. They can't just hop on a boat and cross an ocean.
No, the geography of this world means they have to physically walk down this infinite, multidimensional staircase into the lower planes.
And the visuals here are just, they're so cinematic, but deeply unsettling. They start walking, and it doesn't just get darker. It gets heavier.
The stone steps actually turn this angry, deep red color the further they descend.
Yeah, like they're walking down a cosmic throat or something. And eventually they pop out into this place called the Gray Wastes.
Which is just a perfectly named location. I mean, it's essentially a sensory deprivation tank for the soul.
Totally. The sky is just this oppressive, featureless ash.
Yeah.
And the ground is totally barren.
Well, except for the trees. But even the trees aren't really wood. They're these massive, jutting skeletons.
Right, like giant bones erupting from the dirt. It's wild. It just immediately signals that this realm absolutely hates the concept of life.
Yeah, and that hostility just becomes more apparent when they reach the River Styx.
Oh, man, the river. So it's this dark, oily water, and there's just one tiny lamppost on the dock. And out of the mist comes this ferryman.
A skeletal guy draped in, like, coarse brown sackcloth.
Right, and he's just pulling this flat-bottomed boat in complete silence. So the party, naturally, tries to bribe him.
They offer him a ton of gold just to guarantee safe passage.
And all he does is give this faint, raspy wheeze from under his hood. He just doesn't care.
Which is our first major clue about how the underworld operates, right?
Okay.
Mortals are so used to transactions.
You pay money, you get a service.
Exactly. But down here, that entire social contract is just void. The underworld is totally indifferent to your wealth or your heroic quest.
It's so eerie. And they push off from the dock and float past this area called Pluton.
The city of judgment, basically a bleak waiting room for souls.
Yeah, and the shores are lined with these motionless figures just staring at the boat. They even see Goliaths there.
Which is jarring, because Goliaths are usually these massive, vibrant mountain people.
Right, and here they're just silent, spectral watchers in the water. Papa Jan, the holy man of the group, almost recognizes one of them, but the memory just, like, slips away.
The environment is already messing with their heads. It's not just a spooky travelogue.
No, it's actively trying to break them down.
It demands a toll, but it doesn't want currency. It wants your identity.
And we see that violently play out when they hit the rapids. Like, the ride is smooth until they enter these tight, jagged caves, and suddenly it's whitewater chaos.
The boat is bucking everywhere.
And their guide, Wilbur, who is literally a celestial unicorn, he loses his footing and tumbles over the side into the Styx.
The panic in the notes here is so real. Glint manages to throw a rope around Wilbur's neck to keep him tethered, and he casts a spell to make the rope glow.
Because the fog is so thick, they're about to lose him completely.
Right, so they're dragging this struggling magical unicorn through violent rapids, and the boat is about to capsize.
And what is the ferryman doing? Literally nothing.
He's just ignoring them.
They are screaming at him, offering more gold, begging him to slow down, and he is as indifferent as the cave walls.
Well, the ferryman is basically an extension of the river. You can't negotiate with a force of nature.
Fair point. So they somehow hold onto the rope and drag Wilbur up onto an obsidian dock. But it's a completely hollow victory.
Yeah. When they pull him up, he's just fundamentally broken.
The Styx didn't drown his body, it drowned his mind. His memories are completely gone.
His magical ability to open interdimensional portals, which is the whole reason they brought him, is erased.
He's just a confused, mundane horse chasing his own tail on a dark dock. It's so sad.
It's a huge thematic loss. It shows that the river kills your history, the very context that makes you who you are.
I was trying to think of an analogy for this. You know when you're in a new city and your phone suddenly dies? You lose your map, your lifeline, everything.
Oh yeah, pure panic.
Now amplify that. You're in a hostile dimension, and your literal survival guide gets a cosmic hard drive wipe. Plus, this is a beloved friend they're watching lose his mind in real time.
It's a chilling way to look at it. Stripped of their guide, they're completely isolated.
So they push forward into this sprawling cave with deep red walls. And this is where the underworld shifts tactics, right?
Exactly. First it takes their guide, and then it attacks their sense of cosmic scale.
Okay, this part is wild. They find these 40-foot-tall iron doors. But before opening them, Iðunn and Glint climb a cliff to scout.
And what they see completely defies logic.
They look into a void and see an infinite series of planets just floating impossibly close together.
Like, the mountains from one world are nearly touching the mountains of the planet right above it.
Which is designed to just shatter a mortal mind. We look at the sky and see vast emptiness.
Right, to see celestial bodies crammed together like pebbles in a jar just breaks their understanding of reality.
It's pure cosmic dread. And then that dread gets very physical when they push open those iron doors.
Because behind them is Kronos.
A 50-foot-tall titan chained to colossal stone pillars. And he's got this iron cage next to him filled with tiny, struggling figures.
And mid-conversation, Kronos just casually reaches into the cage, pulls out a woman by her hair, and bites her in half.
Like a celery stick. And those tiny figures, the notes confirm they are literal gods.
It's a deeply unsettling power shift. Kronos doesn't even care about the violence he's committing.
He just offers them safe passage if they agree to do a fruit ritual to free him later. They tentatively defer, of course.
They're probably hoping to free the gods on their way back, but the psychological damage is done.
Wait, I need to focus on this for a second. He eats a goddess, like popcorn.
Yeah, casually.
Mortals build temples to these beings. They pray to them for miracles. If a god can just be a snag for a chained titan, what does that mean for the balance of power?
That's the exact existential crisis this scene triggers. The normal rules of divinity are void down here.
It's terrifying.
It's like an ant realizing the boot descending on it doesn't care about the hierarchy of the anthill. To a titan, a god is a morsel.
It makes the party and you listening question the value of faith in a place this ancient. You feel totally insignificant.
So Kronos shows them their gods are meaningless. But the underworld still isn't done.
Right. If it can't crush you with a titan, it dismantles you psychologically. Which leads us to the Arch of Justice.
They find this glowing lavender stone pedestal with an intricately carved archway.
And it has a figure of justice holding a sword and scales. But you can't fight this thing.
You can't outrun it or bargain with it either. When Glint steps up, a magical voice demands his deepest, most guarded secret in exchange for passage.
It's like a psychological TSA checkpoint. Imagine looking this arch in the eye and saying the one thing that unravels your public identity.
It forces them to shed their heroic facades. By speaking their shame, they dismantle their own ego.
And the secrets are just devastating. Let's look at Glint. He clutches this glowing amulet and confesses he's actually a simulacrum.
A magical construct built by a wizard to house a dying son's consciousness.
But Glint gained free will. So instead of letting his creator erase him, he ran away. And the moment he says this aloud, he vanishes through the arch.
The philosophical terror there is staggering. A magical robot developing a soul, living with the constant dread of being turned off.
He's confessing the ultimate imposter syndrome.
Exactly. And then Umbra steps up. She admits to this world-ending survivor's guilt.
She followed a dark voice, opened a forbidden chest, and unleashed a shadow that consumed her entire monastery.
She accidentally killed everyone she loved. She says it and vanishes.
Then Cornelius. He admits that 60 years ago he let his own brother die in battle because he wanted the glory of chasing down an enemy commander.
Traded his brother for ambition. He vanishes.
And Papa Jan, the holy man.
Yeah.
He reveals he actually killed his twin brother in a fist fight over a warhammer.
That one is so heavy. He's this beacon of light for his god, Lathander.
But the arch makes him admit his holy persona is built on fratricide.
And finally, there's Iðunn.
Right, the respected battle master. He confesses to a drunken night with a fellow cleric, and when rumors started that she was pregnant, he panicked.
He was consumed by shame.
Yeah, this master tactician completely folded. He abandoned his post and walked away, carrying the weight of possibly leaving a child behind. He speaks it and vanishes.
Look at what this arch accomplishes. Total emotional dissolution. Every lie, every justification is stripped away.
And the timing is so cruel because the second they pass through, they drop directly into Carceri.
Also known as Tartarus. They trade emotional dissolution for literal physical dissolution.
Because the ground is saturated with corrosive acid, the red grass is literally made of razor blades.
It's an environment weaponized against its inhabitants, and before they can even orient themselves, the acid pools erupt.
They get ambushed by black puddings, basically massive sentient oozes made of highly corrosive acid.
They don't just hit you, they envelop you. They burn through metal and skin.
And the combat here is entirely about losing resources. The oozes melt Urlon's half-plate armor right off his back.
The acid bypasses the outer shell and turns his armor into an oven.
It's like I was saying earlier, trying to put out a fire with a wooden bat. Every time you strike, you lose the tool you need to survive.
Umbra is slashing with her daggers, and she just has to watch them rapidly corrode into useless rust.
Both Urlon and Cornelius get knocked completely unconscious by the fumes and burns.
But amid all that, there are these desperate flashes of defiance.
Jan's front flip. Oh my gosh, he sees Cornelius about to be consumed, and he just physically leaps over a pool of acid.
Slams his shield down and pours healing light into him. It's so cinematic.
Pushing back against a realm that wants them dead. But even the rescues go wrong.
Yeah, Cornelius wakes up, panics, and casts Thunderwave.
It pushes the oozes back, but the friendly fire catches Urlon and blasts him into the razor grass, just shredding him.
It's a messy, brutal fight. Eventually, Glint splits an ooze with green lightning.
Jan blasts one, and Umbra throws a single desperate dart to finish the last one.
And when it's over, Urlon looks at his half-melted great axe and just tosses it into the acid.
A final farewell to his defenses.
Which perfectly encapsulates their descent. First, the Styx took their guide and connection to home.
Then Kronos shattered their cosmic understanding.
The Arch of Justice destroyed their pride and secrets.
And the oozes literally ate their armor and weapons. They are completely exposed.
And that's exactly when a Mezzaloth named Abby steps out of the jungle.
Right, this weary insectoid fiend. He approaches them and confirms their worst fears.
He tells them they are in the prison plane of Tartarus and leaving is nearly impossible.
So the underworld demanded its toll step by step. It took pieces of their lives, minds, and armor.
They traded every layer of protection just to keep moving forward.
And now, with no gear and no guide, they follow this fiend deeper into the razor grass, hoping the answers they need are still out there.
It's such a staggering narrative. They willingly dismantled themselves, and it really reflects human psychology.
How so?
Well, we spend our lives building armor, wealth, physical walls, but mainly psychological walls out of denial and secrets.
Which brings us to our final thought for you, the listener, to mull over today.
Yeah, think about this.
The party is now physically trapped in Tartarus, right?
Mm-hmm.
The inescapable prison of the cosmos.
Right.
But when you consider the devastating secrets they were just forced to confess at the Arch, the fratricide, the abandonment, the survivor's guilt,
Mm-hmm.
were they already living in a prison of their own making long before they ever set foot in Carceri?
That is a profound question to leave on. The physical prison merely matched the internal one.
Exactly. Until next time, keep digging deep.